These are devotions for people at a social distance. This morning I was up early and I watched the sun come up, and the sun was this strange red color. And if you're following the meteorological news, you will not be particularly be surprised by that. A lot of people all over Ontario, a lot of people out west are experiencing very weird skies these days because there are huge numbers of forest fires burning, and there's just so much smoke and ash in the air as a result that it is affecting the light, especially early in the morning and late at night. And it's kind of scary, the scale of what's going on. And of course, it made me think, and I think I read this passage not long ago, but it brought me back to Matthew 16, verses 1 to 4. This is where the Pharisees and Sadducees come to test Jesus, and they ask him to show them a sign from heaven. He answered them, "When it is evening, you say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be stormy today, for the sky is red and threatening. You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times." So they ask literally for a sign from heaven, and he says, you know what? There are signs in heaven all the time, and you ignore them. I mean, he talks about the simple everyday signs of that, in some ways do indeed predict the weather. But right now, my friends, we have a sign in the sky that is telling us that there are some serious things going on. And those serious things are, of course, connected to global climate change. They are connected to the way of life that we have been living for a long time and not been willing to change and not been willing to criticize. And things got to change. But it's a whole lot easier just to ignore the signs of the time and just continue on as if nothing has changed. God has been sending us signs in the heaven. There are signs in heaven right now. There are signs, I think, in what we've been living through with the whole COVID, saying that we need to make some serious changes in how we live as a society. How we take care of the marginal people, how we pay essential workers and treat the people who are on the front lines of society, because if they're not there, we have discovered everything breaks down. There are all kinds of signs. The problem is not the lack of signs. The problem is that people don't look at them, they don't pay attention to them, and above all, they just don't do anything as a result of them. And that, my friends, is the problem. There are signs in the heaven. Stop asking for the signs. Start paying attention to the ones that are there. Lord, let us pay attention to the signs of the time. Let us make changes. And yes, that includes changes as individuals, but it's much more than that. It's changes as a society, as the way we do business, as the way we approach politics. All these things matter and have an impact. So let us act. Let us pay attention to the signs. Amen.